Hello class, today we are learning how to apply the quadratic formula. Your essential question is, how do I apply the quadratic formula? Your learning intention, I am learning to apply the quadratic formula to find the solution or solutions, which are the zeros of a quadratic. So, we've got two warm-up questions. Pause the video and see if you can do them on your own. You're going to find the discriminant and tell the number of solutions. Well, I do hope you tried. Now, this is not set equal to 0, but I want to set it equal to 0. So I'm going to add x squared. I'm going to bring down the plus 6x, and then I'm going to add 9 at the end because everything will be positive when I add it to the other side. Now I'm going to identify a is equal to 1, b is equal to 6, and c is equal to 9. Use my formula. My discriminant is equal to 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9. 6 squared is 36 minus 4 times 1 times 9 is 36, and I end up with 0. When it's equal to 0, how many solutions? 1. Okay, if you did not pause the video, pause it now and see if you can do the next one on your own. Is it set equal to 0? No. Step 1, set it equal to 0. I've got to subtract 8n from both sides. So I've got the 7n squared plus 8n plus 0 is equal to 0. We don't have a c because we don't have a constant. So if we're looking at this, how many solutions will we have? What is a, b, and c? A is equal to 7. B is equal to 8. C is equal to 0. My discriminant, 8 squared minus 4 times 7 times 0. 8 squared minus, or 8 squared would be 64. 4 times 7 is 28 times 0 is 0. 64 minus 0 is equal to 64. Sixty-four is greater than 0, so I will have two solutions. Okay, there's the quadratic formula. This is what we're getting ready to apply. We're going to solve by using the quadratic formula. So I'm going to go slowly, step by step, so you can understand the process. Step number 1, set it equal to 0. Okay, to set it up equal to 0, I've got to add these to the other side. So 0 is equal to, I've got a positive 6x here, I don't have anything here that's x squared. 6x squared. Then I bring down the negative 7x. Then I've got 6 minus 9. Positive 6 plus negative 9 is negative 3. If you need to put it underneath, that's fine. Step 1, set it up equal to 0. Step 2, find your discriminant. A is equal to 6, B is equal to negative 7, and C is equal to negative 3. So that would be negative 7 squared minus 4 times 6 times negative 3. And this is easier just to put in your calculator. Parentheses, negative 7 parentheses squared minus 4 times 6 times negative 3. And I end up with 121. Now, I found my discriminant. Now I need to square root my discriminant. $11. Okay, now we've done everything. We have completed every bit of this, the square root of. Now we just simply have to plug the negative b. First time we add 11 and then we divide it by 2a. Second time we subtract 11 and then we divide it by 2a. So for the first solution, the opposite of b is negative 7. The opposite of negative 7 is 7. First time I will add 11. Then divide by 2 times 6. A is 6. 7 plus 11 is 18 over 12. That can simplify down to 9 over, well, I can divide by 6 both times. So that will be 3 over 2, 3 halves. Because I can factor out a 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So the first time we added. The second time we will subtract. 7 minus 11 over 2 times 6. It's the exact same formula. One's add, one's subtract. 7 minus 11 gives me negative 5. No, yeah, negative 4. Over 12. This will simplify to negative 1 over 3. And you have your two solutions. Very slowly, you will make sure it's set up equal to 0. Identify A, B, and C. Find your discriminant. Square root your discriminant. Then you're ready. The opposite of b plus whatever the square root of your discriminant is, divided by 2a. Second time, the opposite of b minus the square root of your discriminant, divided by 2a. Is it set up equal to 0? No, I need to add 2n to both sides. So I've got negative 10n squared. I want to add 2n here, 2n here. 2n plus negative 3n is negative 1n, minus 9 is equal to 0. A, B, and C. A is negative 10, B is negative 1, C is negative 9. Okay, let's find our discriminant. Okay, b squared, negative 1 squared, minus 4 times a, which is negative 10, times c, which is negative 9. And it's negative 359. What do I do now? Well, you just put no solution and go on. Okay, what about the next one? Is it set up equal to 0? No. I have to add 10 to both sides. So this is 2m squared minus 7m. 10 plus negative 13 is negative 3, minus 3 equals 0. Identify A, B, and C. A is 2. B is negative 7. C is negative 3. Find your discriminant. Okay, so for my discriminant, negative 7 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 3. Okay, 73. So my discriminant is equal to 73. Now, what do you know about 73? 73 is a prime number. I can take the square root of it, but I can't simplify it. So this will be the square root of 73. Well, it does make my life easier, because remember, it's the opposite of b. The opposite of negative 7 is 7. Plus or minus the square root of 73 all over 2 times 2. Simplify. The only thing you can do is multiply 2 by 2 times 2. 7 plus or minus the square root of 73 divided by 4 is our answer, and you're done. The first example on this side had no solution. This one has 2 solutions, but they're irrational, and that's okay. So let's see what happens with the next one. It is not set up equal to 0, so I've got to subtract x from both sides. Two x squared minus x minus 36 is equal to 0. Identify your A, B, and C. Well, I want you to pause the video now and see if you can set up the discriminant on your own. What is A, B, and C? What does it look like? I hope you tried. A is equal to 2, B is equal to negative 1, and C is equal to negative 36. For our discriminant, so this will be negative 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 36. And I get 298. 289 actually. Okay, is 289 a perfect square? Well, we'll see. It is. The square root of 289 is 17. Now remember our quadratic formula. The opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let's set this up and get started. The opposite of b. b is -1. The opposite of -1 is a +1. First time we add 17 divided by 2 times 2. 2a is 2 times 2. 18 divided by 4. I can factor out 2. 9 over 2 is the first answer. Second time we subtract. 1 minus 17 divided by 2 times 2. -16 divided by 4, which gives me -4. And I have my two answers. Okay, pause the video and see if you can do the last one on your own. I hope you tried. Add n squared to both sides. 8n squared plus n squared is 9n squared. Plus 4n minus 16 is equal to 0. A, B, and C. A is equal to 9. B is equal to 4. C is equal to -16. Find your discriminant. D is equal to 4 squared minus 4 times 9 times -16. Remember to keep that negative sign because it makes a big difference. I get 552. 592. Is that a perfect square? It is not. Make sure I've got the right number here. $592 is correct. This is where you have to use your ability to simplify a square root. So we're looking at the square root of 592. Well, number one, 592 is even. So I'm going to divide it by 2. I get 296. 296 is even, so I divide it by 2 again, and I get 148. 148 is even, so I divide it by 2 again. I get 74. 74 is even, so I divide it by 2 again. I get 37. 37 is prime. Divided by 37, I get 1. So I've got a pair of 2's. I've got another pair of 2's. So this is equal to 2 times 2 square root of 37, or 4 square root of 37. Once again, this is going to be a radical. So I will plug it in, but I will have the plus or minus in it. Okay, so the opposite of B. B is 4. The opposite is -4. Plus or minus 4 square root of 37. All over 2 times 9. Okay, we need to simplify. If I'm looking at my factors, I've got 4, I've got another 4, I've got 2 at the bottom. I know I can factor out 2. -4 divided by 2 is -2. 4 divided by 2 is positive 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay. Negative 2 plus or minus 2 square root of 37 all over 9. And that is your answer. So as you can see, applying the quadratic formula takes a little bit of time. You've got to slow down, find your discriminant, square root your discriminant, place that square root into the equation, and simplify. So you know you're successful when you can use the quadratic, when you can solve quadratics using your quadratic formula.